I want to start off by thanking all the members of the Senate. I want to thank Senator Seward for his participation each and every day in the very long budget hearings we all participated in. I want to thank my leader for giving me an opportunity to chair the Finance Committee. Thank you very much, Madam Leader. And I want to thank my colleagues on the Democratic side who are so passionate and involved in the issues that they have taken on as chairs of their committees or other issues for their districts. I've been here 17 years. We were counting how many years we've been each here. I have never worked with people on either side of the aisle who are so invested in learning the issues, coming up with proposals, understanding the complications of different parts of the state. And I just realized and double-checked with staff, we've been in the majority for 2 months. 2 months. We have an almost entirely new staff, and they are phenomenal. So I want to recognize Todd Sherman and his work in the Finance Division and all of his new people. Eric Katz and Chantel, everyone knows Chantel Smith, overseeing both policy and council, because budget is everything, and the materials that have been produced are phenomenal, and the work we're doing, I can't tell you how excited I am at looking at month 4 as we walk into month 2. And yes, Senator Seward, we're a little late on one document. We'll get it to you, and again, I apologize. You know, it's growing pains, but again, there is so much right that we have pulled off in 2 months. And despite the comments of my colleagues, we stayed within the 2% cap. You can't say it's an irresponsible budget, not compared to the budget you were preparing. And we have more money going into rural New York and upstate New York and infrastructure and public education and higher education. And these are the things, and transportation, these are the things that motivate people to want to bring businesses to our state and for people to stay. All the research shows businesses decide where to go based on the quality of the workforce that they can hire and having infrastructure provided for them. And we had a tiff over plastic bags. I'm sorry, we all have to learn. We have to do everything necessary on climate change, because if we don't get that right, we won't even be around to fight over this stuff in a few years. And we invest even more money in water infrastructure and clean water infrastructure. One of the great strengths of New York State, compared to many places in the country, is the opportunities we have because we have such a good water system that we have to help protect and make sure doesn't be forced into damage. Any number of the individual issues my colleagues raised that they said they don't see this and so they vote no, please reach out to us over the next few weeks, because we have lump summed quite a few things in this budget, and we weren't lining them out and reading them to you today. But if you have concerns, reach out to your colleague who's the chair of that committee, reach out to me or the staff, please, so that we can both address your concerns and show you that we are committed to the entire state of New York. And when we hear the attacks that we're raising taxes, you know, I just want to go on record. So there's 2 big ones in there. One is a continuation of the tax called the millionaire's tax, which we've already had for close to 5 years. The vast majority of the people paying that tax are actually from the city of New York. Senator Hoylman in my district actually, for record, most in 2 Senate districts, Senator Hoylman's, Senator Krueger's. People haven't fled our district. They have not fled New York. There are actually significantly more millionaires paying taxes in the state of New York now than when we put this tax into place, because people want to live in New York, see all the advantages, and to be quite honest, if you talk to someone who's making $3 million, $5 million, $10 million a year or more, the increase in their state tax is a drop in the bucket for them. So that is not what has been their motivator to come or go. They come here because here is the opportunity. And they will want to stay here in a wider swath of New York as long as we make those investments. And those investments cost money. And the other new proposal we have, which Senator Hoylman defined as his own interesting definition of pied-à-terre tax. These are for apartments worth more than $5 million that are owned by people who don't live in them full-time. Again, the vast majority in Senator Hoylman's district and my district on the east and the west side of Manhattan, core Manhattan. These are people who basically have money that they can't legally put in our banks because of our banking laws. So they are buying up unbelievably expensive apartments and whole buildings in Manhattan to move their money into the US when they can't legally moving it in any other way. It's actually a legal problem we should try to look into, but the feds supersede us. But the fact is, they're spending this money to hold their real estate just as a banking system for themselves, and they should absolutely pay taxes to the state of New York. They're not generating other economic activity for us. They don't even live here, the vast, vast majority, and they overheat our real estate market, take up our skies and our access to light in Manhattan. And it's ridiculous to imagine that they shouldn't pay their fair share into the state of New York because they are taking advantage of us. And every other major city in the world that has this arrangement also already has pied-à-terre tax. So when people say, oh, we can't vote for this because we're increasing taxes, just remember, you're not increasing taxes on the people in your districts. Ironically, you're increasing the taxes on the people in my district and Senator Hoylman's district. And if the people get mad enough at us, they'll fire us. But I don't think they will. In fact, I'm quite confident that won't be why they fire us. We're trying to make sure the state of New York has adequate money to meet the needs of the people in your districts and your communities. And this conference is focused on making sure we improve the future of the state of New York for everyone. And this is our first time out of the box. It's the beginning of the process, not the end. And I guess I just want to say I'm so proud of this document and everyone's hard work who got us here. And I invite our colleagues into the process as we go down the road to get to a final budget. And thank you very much, Mr. President. I vote yes.